Heart attack, huh? I never liked this piece of shit. Good riddance. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I've included a description in the link below, or link in the description below. Lynette Romero, Mark Meister, and KTLA. Keep in mind that all threats will be reported and flagged. Sorry, that's the way it's got to be.
Okay, I'll keep it covered.
Don't you want to check it first? Haha!
Trip. Hey, just the two of us.
It all. Pull over.
Oh. Haha! I love a lot of this is music from Robot Love. There's so much imagery, so much good stuff. Now, I would say that the emphasis on heavy metal, it's not as intense as industrial or black or death metal. So it's hard to rank it high or low, but I'm gonna say it's still a great movie. Lots of titties, lots of naked women, lots of excuses to show naked women. It's all about that green ball, isn't it? Ooh, the power of the green orb. So that's sort of the thing that everybody has throughout this movie. There's a running theme of that green orb. We see it in a conquest of mutants versus humans. We see it on the boobs, the necklace of the secretary in the Washington D.C. We see it in the courtroom. We see it in all kinds of scenarios. There's all kinds of. It's like a series of Twilight Zone type of stories. It's that green orb that runs throughout the whole thing. So an astronaut brings home this green ball, and he gets killed instantly. And this green orb preys upon the daughter. It's like maybe about 12, not yet 13, and tells her the stories of how this orb of power came. Like there was this nerd that turned to a muscular He-Man and got laid like twice. You had the cab driver that I just showed. You had the mutants versus humans. You had the outer space stuff. Uh, you had all kinds of stories. All kinds of weird shit happen. It's a running theme of heavy metal. Different kinds. There's some tame music. There's some pop music. Um, it really never reaches that kind of what the fuck intensity of what we would consider to be like goth metal lore. It feels a little dumbed down for central audiences. The only things that are shocking is the drawn hand drawn nudity. Here we got this character. Um, I haven't even seen this movie, and somehow I kind of figured she'd be reborn because she sacrifices herself to destroy the orb, and somehow I thought maybe the little girl somehow becomes the new Shira at the end of this movie, and she does. It's just a funny thing. I don't know why I'm getting good at guessing these movies now. You guess the plot, you guess the ending, and yeah, I the animation's really good. Now I understand the comic book I was reading. There was a comic book that I was reading that's read horizontally and not vertically, um, in which I think the art was inspired by heavy metal. Just that art. It was a 6-part miniseries. Extremely hard to come by. Uh, you had to be in the comic book shop at the right time. I think I think they're going to republish that somewhere, but I was lucky to get a hold of all 6 issues. And it has that same art where just things turn inside out. You got people turning inside out, you got mutilations, you got all kinds of death, blood. I mean, this is not, I cannot tell you. I mean, I guess the first cartoons were for adults, weren't they? Felix the Cat, Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny. And even in a time where we expect cartoons to be for kids, this is like this is rated R kind of thing. In fact, I'm not even sure what the rating was for this. Yeah, rated R. And I do believe this is the cast here. They tell you the directors. Gerard Potterton. I was going to say Patterson, but that's not it. Potterton, like Harry Potterton. Yeah, so this is like the SCTV people. Harold Ramis. You got John Candy, Eugene Levy. I think Eugene's the only one still alive. Joe Flaherty's passed on. Uh, Different people. John Vernon, I remember very well from he was Doctor Strange. General Thunderbolt Ross from the Hulk cartoon. He was Rupert Thorne. The last thing he did was Billy Grimm and Mandy. He played like the caricature of the Dean from Animal House. I just remember all these different people. Ah, what a different time this was. It really was a different time. Um, I mean, this heavy metal, although it has different themes. There you have the war. Oh yeah, you have the war scene. The war. There's a the zombies come to life, and there's a World War II airplane fighter plane. People dying on the plane. There's some He-Man, She-Ra themes going on here. At a time when that was so popular, Conan the Barbarian, Red Sonja, Masters of the Universe, right? Uh, what else? Thundar the Barbarian, like all these different things. There were so many cool ideas that just came into play. Anything was up for grabs. People these days, I mean, most of you don't understand, those of you who were born after the 90s cannot comprehend why we liked this stuff so much. Now it's all about the superheroes trying to impress us, and I'm not impressed right now. They're trying to. I mean, people shat on me for for hating the Superman poster, but they're already trying to like doctor that poster. They're trying to change things around because people are tired. The fans want to decide what things are. I haven't seen enough fan films about this subject because this subject has kind of it's been buried and thrown away. I'm losing words. I think, oh God, I don't know what's going on with me. I'm losing word comprehension here. I don't know what the fuck it is. Could be something wrong, maybe not something right in my diet. I don't know. I'm not sure. I wish I knew. I really do. So let me give a score for this, but I will say that I think the goth metal lore is kind of low on this one. But there's still a lot of gore. There's still a lot of warrior themes and a lot of crude themes. And I think it mostly works. But if you took it up a notch and made it even darker, um, definitely would rank higher in the goth metal lore stuff. I mean, the dark humor. Um, because the characters are very tame and the music can be very tame at times. Uh, so, like, you have, I don't want to work. I just want to bang on my drums all day. So, you got some of that tame music there. So, all right, what's the letter grade for this? I'll give it an A minus. Um, I wouldn't rank it very high because it's kind of soft in some places. The women look great. The women always look great. Lots of nudity. I don't know. I guess I'm not as turned on as I once was. You know, like when I was 19 or 20, I'd be jumping up and down. But I like the girl at the end because she does the way she's dressed up at the end of the scene. She kind of reminds me of Vampirella, Lady Death, Evangeline, those sexy pinup girls from the 90s comic books. And of course, Vampirella is from the 70s, of course. But you go back to those times. I mean, the heavy metal warrior chick was ahead of her time by at least about, I don't know, 14 years, 12 or 13, 14 years. So, I got two more posts for Sunday morning, and I'm not going to be able to post until probably as early as Tuesday night. And let's see if I'm able to do it. I hope I'm able to do it. I got a lot to do. I got to do a lot of cleanup for the house for open house. But what's coming up for Tuesday night at the earliest? It may get postponed, but I hope it doesn't. We've seen the first ABCs of Death. Now I will walk you through its sequel, ABCs of Death 2. Hopefully, if I do everything right, Tuesday night. So enjoy the hiatus for as long as it lasts.